crafters, and welcome to Creative Moments by G. I'm G, and so happy that you're with us today. We are going to create a pop-out card, one that displays your image so uniquely and so cute, you are going to want to rush and do this. So let's head down to the crafting table and let me show you. Look at this card. Now here we have it, and when you open it up, look at that. Do you see how this pops? This pops, kind of floats open, and then you go to shut it, and it shuts right up. That is so cute. Now we're going to make two cards to show you how to create your card using this template, and then I have one more card to show you, so make sure that you stay with us. The first thing you'll need to do is go ahead and get your base card, and that's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. But remember, all the measurements and supplies will be listed over on our blog at creativemomentsbyg.com. So don't worry about taking them down. So we have our base card. Now we went ahead and we decided to use some beautiful patterned paper. Look at this gorgeous paper. Isn't that pretty? So bright and springy. So we're going to lay that down on the front of the card and then also on the inside of the card. And we're going to do that first. Now, when you lay this down on the front of your card, only lay your glue on the outside of your mat, because we are actually going to cut this out in an oval shape, and you need the solid color piece, so you don't want it to adhere to this DSP. So only line it on the outside with glue. And now we'll go ahead and line the inside with our patterned paper. And now we're going to just select a die that you want to have as your cutout shape right here. You can have a circle, you can have an oval, you could do a rectangle or a square, but we're going to do an oval for the image that we want to use, and that's always a good tip. Go ahead and take the die and hold it over your image to make sure that they all fit within the die. So let's go ahead and get this lined up, and I'm just going to put a little bit of our purple magic tape. We're going to just put it right there, and now we're going to run it through the embossing machine. We're just going to pop that out. And now it should just fall apart very easily because we did not put any glue in the center. That's very, very important. Now you can keep this oval for another card. Just lay it to the side and you have this one. Now we're going to put this to the side right here, and we are going to cut out our mechanism. So bring in your trimmer, and we want to cut it out the same color as the cardstock for the base card, because you will be able to see it. Now the mechanism, there's two pieces to it. You need to cut a 3 by 4 piece of cardstock. And then we're going to score this 1, 2, and 3 inches. Going to lay this to the side, and we're going to cut our second piece, which is 3/4 by 2 1/4. So let's cut our 2 1/4 first, and then we're going to cut a 3/4 inch piece. Now we're going to turn this long ways and we're just going to score it at 1 1/4. Now let's bring in our bone folder and let's go ahead and crease these score lines really well. This is going to create a small box that actually holds your shape, and it's going to look like that. Now this smaller one, we're just going to fold it over, and let me show you. You can see that we have a longer piece and the shorter piece, and that is important. So let's just bring in our card and let's bring in our box, our mechanism. So the first thing you'll want to do is turn it. You folded it like this. Go ahead and turn it where it's folding to the top. And we are going to line this right up in the middle, right in the center of your oval or your square or whatever you've decided to cut out. Now don't bring it all the way to the score line on the card. Bring it almost all the way because you want it to shut really nicely. Now you might check just to make sure that you have it centered, and I believe that's centered. So I'm just going to fold this back and add some glue. Now you can use tear and tape if you want, but I feel comfortable just using the glue. And I'm just gonna hold this for a minute. Okay, to complete our little mechanism or our box that's going to hold our image, simply fold this in half and now add some glue to this top piece. Now, depending on your cutout image, you may not be able to bring the glue all the way down, but you can always wipe that off. So once you have the glue there, just fold this over and see how I didn't put any glue right there. I left that blank because I knew that I would be able to see that, so you don't want to have any glue right there. And you just hold it for a minute and then we will have our first mechanism made. Now look at that. See how we have our box? Very easy. Next thing we're going to do is add the little flap. Now remember I said there's a longer piece that goes to the back. So all you have to do is add your glue on the back of the long piece. And we are just going to add this right to the fold, right to the center of the card. Now you want to make sure that you don't add more glue than you need because you see how this goes over just a little bit. So you want to add just enough glue to glue it right down to your box mechanism. And there we have it. So now we have our flap, we have our mechanism all put together. So now we need to decorate this. So what I've done is I have cut out an additional oval because I'm going to put this right here, right in the center. And I'm going to stamp my message and then I'm going to bring in just the cutest little boy and girl to show you. So what I'm going to stamp here is from By My Side, and I'm going to use this little boy and this little girl for our images. But let's go ahead and stamp this, and I'm going to use Night of Navy. Now, you need to stamp this as close to the bottom as you can. Perfect. And now we will add it right to the center. Just add it flat. You don't want to put this up on dimensionals. And try to get it centered perfectly. The same border all the way around. And we are going to add this right to the center, right back to the center. Now we just add some glue on this short piece, this little tab right here. So just add some glue. and you're going to just put this right over the top, right where it was before you cut it out, and hold it. And now we have it closed, and when you open it up, this falls down so you'll be able to see those cute little images that we're going to put right there. And then it closes right back up. Let me show you the images that I have already colored, and I've actually put them together. Now look at those. Are they adorable? Now I want to show you something that I did to the little girl's hair in case you have this stamp set. Her little bun was to the back. All I did was cut the little bun off and add it to the top because they have to be able to come through this part right here. And her little hair stuck out to the left, and we can't have that. So what I'm going to do is just add this. I added some dimensionals, so I'm going to take the dimensionals off. And I'm going to add him right there. And yes, it can go over this area, but not over the card. Now I'm going to take the backing off of these dimensionals and just add her right here. Now, look at that. Is that an adorable card? Now, look what happens when you open it up. You open it up, and they stand up on that mechanism. Isn't that cute? And it shuts right back down. Now, I went ahead and I stamped the sentiment from that stamp set, and I'm going to put that right on the inside. But we want to make sure that it lays flat, so go ahead and use your glue. I'm going to put it close to the bottom. And we only need to do one more thing. So we have this. It lays flat. And then you open it up and it pops up. Look at that. So cute. Now, because there is no place to write a sentiment because we used DSP, we are just going to turn this over and add a white piece of paper on the back. That gives you plenty of room to write a message. And we have completed our first card, adorable card. You could turn this into a happy birthday for a child. So cute. Open it up and it pops up just like that. Look how cute that is. And now we close it back. So we're going to go ahead and move into our next card. And our next card, I have some tips to show you for using Butterfly Brilliance. This is a fantastic stamp set that is still in the annual catalog. You can still get it, but maybe not for long. So it has dies, it has a full die. And then what is so interesting about it, it has this large stamp set that you stamp all together. Now, because this is large, I want to show you a tip on how best to stamp this. Go ahead and take your stamping tool and remove this rubber, this sheet right here. So we're just going to put it to the side. And we are going to center this. And now we're going to bring in a piece of paper. We're going to lay it on top of our stamp. And we're just going to put some repositional tape because this time, instead of bringing the stamp over here on the left-hand side to the paper, we're going to bring the paper to the stamp. So we've put our repositional tape. We simply press it down, and now we have the paper right here. So we are going to bring in our Night of Navy again, and we're just going to tap it on our stamp set. And we don't really worry if we get it too dark the first time, because that's why we have it in our stamping tool, right? and we just hold it down. Now you can also use a press tool if you have one. We're going to go ahead and stamp it one more time. And look at those butterflies. Just beautiful. So now we have them stamped. We're going to bring in our card. And we've decided to use, it's called Starry Sky cardstock. And we've brought in this DSP. Look at that. It's blue and white. Love it. So let's go ahead and lay that down on our card again. This has those beautiful butterflies. Now let's go ahead and put our DSP or our pattern paper on the inside. Now the next thing we want to do is go ahead and cut this out. So I'm going to bring in my embossing machine. I'm going to center this. Use some tape. And take it apart. Now we have our solid piece that we need. We have already taken our 3x4 and scored it at 1, 2, and 3. We're going to take our bone folder and we're going to go ahead and give that a really good crease. Now we're going to bring in our glue, and remember this is folding up. So we're going to put glue right here on this side after we get it positioned just right, making sure that it falls right in the center, which it does. We're going to fold it back. Go ahead and hold it in place. Fold it back. And remember, you don't want to get the glue down here because you don't want to see it through this oval. So let's go ahead and get a little bit of glue right there. And you have to worry about that right at the very top. So right here is where you don't want to see any glue. So I'm just going to put my finger right there. We're just going to glue this down. And you saw I folded it in half. I simply took this mechanism and folded it in half and put the glue right there. We're just going to hold it, and this is going to create our box for the pop-up. Now look at that. Isn't that cute and so easy to do? So the next thing we want to do is put that to the side and just stamp our sentiment right here. So we are going to use this gorgeous friend. And these sentiments are just beautiful, and they are in Happiness Abounds, and that is still available in the annual catalog if you're interested. So we're going to use our Night of Navy, and once again, stamp it as close to the bottom as you can. We're going to add this to the front of our oval cardstock, and remember we don't put any dimensionals on this, and center it as much as possible so that you have the same border all the way around. Now we're going to take that little mechanism. Remember, this is cut 3/4 by 2 1/4 and scored at 1 1/4. So this long piece right here, this is what gets glued to the box. So let's go ahead and do that. On the very back of it, now you want to make sure that it goes right to that score line. So we don't want to put glue down here. So put it on the back of the card, but not all the way down, right? Keep a little bit of it empty. Now we're just going to add that right to the center and hold it. And there we have it. Now we're going to add this to the front. We're just going to put some glue on this little bit right here. Go ahead and close it and just add it right back in. Okay, hold it for just a second. Now look at that. And then this pops up and it goes back down. And I want to show you the beautiful butterfly. I cut out using what I had just stamped, and look at that. I brought in that Tahitian blue blend and just colored over it. Love it. And I'm just going to put it right here, just at an angle, just a little bit. But I'm not done with that. I'm going to put it up on dimensionals. Right there. Now look at that. And it pops down. So you close it and it pops down, but we're not done decorating it. So I actually cut out, using the dies, a cover, an overlay for this butterfly. Is that beautiful? And we're only going to put some glue right here on his body. So let's get some glue there. And just add it right here and hold it. Now I'm going to bring in some black dots and I'm going to add that on his body. Look at how pretty that looks. And when you open it up, it falls down and it sets up so nicely. Look at that. But I went ahead and I cut out the sentiment. So we have, friend, sending many thanks for all you do. And we're going to add that right down to the bottom of the inside of our card. We're going to add this on the back so that we have plenty of room to write our sentiment. And now look at this card. You close it. Love that butterfly. Oh my goodness, so pretty. You open it up and this pops open. Now you can always get these wings and really crimp them to where they come up. Just, oh, love this card. So here are the two cards that we have made today. I already showed you this one with that beautiful flower that pops up. And this is so nice because it showcases your image. Here is another butterfly that we did. Now we didn't put the overlay on it, but we colored it, and when you open it up, it pops up too, just like that. And of course we have the back on each of the cards so that you can write your sentiments. Take a moment and leave a comment. Which is your favorite? I don't know. I kind of like this one with the overlay. I really love that one. Let us know which is your favorite. Well, thank you so much for sharing your time with us. We hope that you like this pop-out card that really features the image that you decide to share with your friends and family. Go out, make it a fantastic day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.